Steven, we've done it. We survived another week. How did we do it?
TGI freaking F.
Yeah, but how did we make the week? This week, I'm telling you, I feel like I got beat by Mike Tyson.
Last week because you were working all weekend, so you did 2 weeks back to back.
Basically. Yeah, I'm pretty shot. We got some people in the chat already. We got Design DNA, welcome. We have Jennifer, welcome. We have Mary Sherlock, welcome. And we have the Rexer Show. Glad the Rexer was able to join us today. Now we have a special secret guest today, right, Stephen?
Yep, top secret.
Special guest. I got the static over there. We got a special guest. Should we reveal who that is? I think we should.
Make them wait, or do we make them guess?
They'll never guess. We'll give them a few seconds. Goofy Foot's in the chat.
A hint. What hint? This person's been on the show once before.
He has. Oh, Kongs is here too. We have Kongs. Kongs, welcome. Goofy Foot is here. Welcome. We'll give five more seconds. We'll bring our guest on. If anyone can guess what previous guest was so bored he even came on our show a second time. Who was so bored he wanted to come on one more time? Okay, 5, 4, 3.
The suspense.
2. It's me.
It's the one and only Wolfenose back on the show. Welcome.
Make a Wolfenose video game. The main character. But he wouldn't sound like Super Mario. He'd sound more like I Am Groot or something.
I Am Groot.
You pay me millions, I'll do a better voice.
Chris Pratt is in everything. Everything.
Yes.
Well, I like him, though.
He's got his face on my toilet paper and everything. Like, he's everywhere.
I like the guy, though.
I love Pratt, but, I mean...
There's too much Pratt.
Right.
Too much.
What was that movie called where he was in a spaceship and it was... No. He was in a spaceship. It was like Interstellar. It was
with Jennifer. What's her face?
You had to be asleep the whole time, but he woke up.
Oh yeah.
Jennifer Lawrence was in there, wasn't she?
I cannot think of the name, but I enjoyed that. Like I thought he was a good actor. I like that movie. The Jurassic Park films, to be honest, has become kind of a shit show. Personally, I mean, I think they've gotten pretty bad after the second one.
How many times are you gonna drop the Barbasol can? I mean, really. Seriously.
This time we fixed it.
Glenn is the epitome of opinionation. Got the opinion.
Well, I mean,
I hate that.
Hollywood
He's
beats a dead
secretly in love
horse.
with what's her face there, Kathleen Kennedy there.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's got pictures all in his bathroom, you know, and he's trying to figure out how he's.
Yes, but it's for toilet paper use, not for what you're thinking of. It's for toilet paper use. Kathleen Kennedy's my toilet paper.
And you know what? If you ever meet her and Jennifer's there, start taping.
Well, we got the answer right here.
Record button, man.
For $8, it was Passengers. Was the movie I was thinking about? Passengers. I liked that movie. I thought it was pretty good. I really did enjoy that one. Of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. You haven't seen Passengers?
No, I have not.
I have.
Jeez.
There was too much.
Did you fall? You fell asleep in it? Wait a second.
All right.
You fell asleep in it?
Yeah, I actually did. I fell asleep watching that.
You know what I'm falling asleep lately on? Andor. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
I want to love it, and it's like, what episode's it at now? 4, 6, or whatever.
It doesn't matter because they're all. It's a run on. It's boring.
It's like, how can we make a show and not include any Jedi?
Well, it's not just that. Get to the point. Is my thing about it? It's like, oh, they met the other guy that's in charge.
Yeah.
Oh, they met the second guy that's in charge. And 6 episodes later, oh, they're gonna raid this thing. 6 episodes freaking later. I'm like, how many more? Like, just to say hello, it takes 6 episodes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's slow. Like, it's I don't know what it is.
It's too slow.
Watching paint dry almost.
It's like, can we add K2SO already? The robot.
That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. Like,
has there been any Easter eggs that you guys have seen in there at all? I haven't seen anything.
I saw Star Killer's outfit in that what's his face's trade area there.
Do you remember which episode that was in?
I can't remember. I think it might have been the 3rd or 4th one. But
well,
Star Killer's outfit's in there.
Star Wars Theory pointed that out, and I'm like they're gonna add something good. Come on.
Right.
Yeah. Is Star Killer? You at least see Vader in this thing. Vader hasn't shown up yet.
No, but he's around.
Spoil.
I tell you what. They're taking too long. They're just taking way too long for anything to build up. Maybe 1.5 episodes, but they've stretched it out to 4, and I've lost interest.
Oh yeah, it's slow as hell. If you're gonna watch, it's like watching Days of Our Lives, where just a little bit happens every hour. You know what I mean?
Rexer says my mic needs to be boosted, Glenn.
Your mic needs to be boosted?
That's what he said.
Really?
You're blowing my eardrums out.
He's in the car though, so.
I have almost like no ears. I raised it. I brought you up. I brought you up. But so yeah, Andor for me right now is nothing special. I'm still looking forward to Invincible season 2. I'm looking forward to that. Has anyone watched Cobra Kai?
I have not yet. Not yet.
I've only gotten the 3rd season though.
Okay, the 3rd season to me was Melrose Place.
Yeah.
The 4th season
is the one to watch right now, right?
Was it 5th or 4th? The 4th season.
I think it's 5th.
Whatever the latest season is.
Let the audience.
Very good. The latest season is very good.
The new one. I've watched everything up to that point. I even watched it on the OG YouTube Premium when it was first out. So, but yeah, I want to watch it. I want to watch The Boys, but I haven't got there yet. As far as we just finished Stargate Atlantis. My wife and I were watching Stargate Universe.
Let's ask this question. Okay, go Wolf.
Castlevania season 3. So.
I've only got through 1 season of Castlevania so far.
Holy bloody man, that show is.
It is.
It's animated bloodness.
Well, it's vampires. What do you expect?
No, but this they it's laid on thick on that show, man. It's like
worse than Invincible.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
If you like the whole lore of Castlevania, which
I
don't hate, I don't love, but I like it. This is just nuts. It's just blood everywhere. People are getting decapitated and all this. It's nuts. It's the gore of the gore.
Now, has anyone? I want a 0 for no and 1 for yes in the chat. Has anyone watched? And a 1 is you watched it and liked it. She-Hulk. And a 0 is you watched it and you don't like it. Now, Wolf, you already shook your head, so I'm assuming.
It's just too much fourth wall going on. Really
I liked it.
Kind of ruins it.
No, that's the way she is in the comics.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, it's like a joke inside a joke inside a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, just
I
gets
liked
me
it.
pulled out of control.
So out of all of it, you're saying just the fourth wall is what's ruining for you on She-Hulk? Out of everything?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Deadpool, I think, has the right amount of fourth wall. This is like crazy fourth wall.
Oh, and I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3 like you cannot believe.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait.
I liked it, not because of the fourth wall thing too much, but can we spoil shit at this point?
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Daredevil shows up, and then they hook up together, and then there's a walk of shame by Daredevil.
That was funny.
That was funny as
that
hell.
was funny.
They got it on, so to speak, and then the next morning he's walking with his shoes in his hands or whatever, and his mask still on his head, and he's walking across. I thought that was funny. I think the whole
are
show
two
is
lawyers allowed to
tongue-in-cheek.
do that? Is that like a conflict of interest for two lawyers to go do
That's
that?
the universe blowing up kind of stuff, probably. Yeah, but it was good. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. It was tongue-in-cheek humor, light. It is what it is. I don't think people should read into it, but I think this can introduce her into the,
Kind
the
of sets up
MCU.
Planet Hulk or World War Hulk too.
Yeah, she could show up and be part of the MCU in a movie kind of way, right? I think these shows are gateways to the movies.
It is, and actually we got a super chat from Hobby Hand saying just that. I really wanted to like She-Hulk. It was not for me.
Enough to give $2.
It was. It was.
Enough to give $2. I
admit I have not been able to put on She-Hulk, and I don't know if I'm going to watch it, to be quite honest.
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but
better
I thought
than
it was.
Kathleen Kennedy can do it. I can tell you that, Glenn.
There's a
barely about like that much,
Okay, Glenn, the last episode.
Yes.
Okay, the last episode pays homage to the Lou Ferrigno TV series.
Yep.
Where they do
really?
the intro where he sits in the chair and it does that doo song there, and then the eyeball and the the whole thing is hilarious. And then after that, what they do is they go see Kevin, the artificial AI called Kevin Feige of the whole MCU thing, but he turns out he's just an AI in a room. It's pretty funny. I thought the last episode was funny. The whole fourth wall
I'm
thing.
hearing today too, Glenn, that Spider-Man might be in Deadpool too.
That would be freaking cool. But which Spider-Man? Tom Holland?
The Tom Holland one.
Interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoyed the first and second one. The second one, the story itself I just wasn't huge on, but it was still funny. So I enjoyed it. But I am definitely looking forward to seeing Wolverine come back again. Actually, I've never seen Logan. I haven't had a chance to watch Logan yet. I don't want to see the poor guy die.
Oh my, that's the best movie, man.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched it.
It's decent. It's set later on kind of thing, but it's decent.
Right.
It's set in reality. That's the best part about Logan. It feels
very
like
grounded movie.
Yep.
Very grounded movie.
That's why it feels so incredible.
Like he doesn't have the thing. He's got bones in there instead of the
adamantium.
What do you got? Adamantium claws or whatever. He's got bones, so it looks more.
So at some point between the previous movie and Logan, the adamantium got unfused from his bones.
Yeah.
I think Xavier had something to do with that.
Of course, Xavier. He always thinks he's doing the right thing. He F's everything up.
I think it's him, but I'm not sure. So it's but it's worth a watch. Logan for sure.
Yeah,
don't watch the one with the helicopter, the Wolverine, where he shoots out of a helicopter and blows up or whatever. I forget which one that was. The Wolverine origin story, but it was all terrible. So
yeah, Professor X has sort of like meltdowns, and he like just causes everybody to like go into paralyzation type of thing because of his mind.
Because he's getting old. Because he's getting old and his mind's sort of out of control and doing short circuits basically. So it's pretty cool.
Old age hits us all.
So Logan's like his hospice. So
yeah, exactly. So what are we doing tonight?
Well,
Mr.
tonight we're
Master
actually
Glenn.
We were actually going to talk about
topic?
Yes, the topic actually was favorite cartoon growing up as a young kid. Cartoon series.
Let's
Saturday
ask
morning.
Our audience first what theirs were.
Yep, put that in the chat. We'll hit us up.
And then we'll ask our guest here what his was.
Yes, we put this on. I was watching Toy Galaxy. I always watch Toy Galaxy. Glenn Larson. I like watching his stuff. And he was talking.
Glenn, Gary.
I'm sorry, Gary Larson. So many Larsons. You're right. You're right.
Isn't Glenn the cartoon guy? And
yes.
Then Gary is the. I get them mixed up too.
But he was talking about cereals.
About that.
We talk about cereals. We talk about Frankenberry, Boo Berry, and Count Chocula. So that's what you kind of did on Saturday mornings, right?
Cocoa Puffs.
You turned on the TV set. You got your favorite sugary cereal, and you put on, back then it was channel 2, 4, or 7, at least here where I am in New York, and you watched some cartoons. But what was like?
WWR.
Well, we had the CBS, Pix, 11,
Yep.
Fox.
Yeah,
But, right, but back then Fox didn't have cartoons. It was just NBC, CBS, and ABC. That was it. Unless you were putting on PBS and you want to watch something.
Yeah, I had the luxury of getting PIX and CBC from where I live up in New York, so I had the best of both worlds.
Well, because you were up north. You're on the border of Stephen country, the great north of Canada.
Both. I would get like New York City channels, and I'd get
Buffalo?
like CBC with it. Yep.
What state are you in now, Chris?
Like close to Syracuse.
So you're
Which
close
is-
to Glen.
No, he's close. He's like
Is
20
on
minutes
white
from the
side?
border.
Really?
20 minutes from the border from you, Canada.
Oh, no, it's like about an hour, about 45 minutes.
Really?
What's the closest
Wait, you
Canadian
drive?
city, Kingston?
Yeah, I went to Kingston for my bachelor party when I got married.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's still not allowed back.
No,
Yeah.
not.
There's a poster at the border. Don't let this guy in. So we got what was it here?
So everyone put in the
Factorio?
chat, what your favorite. We have DuckTales. So what was your favorite cartoon growing up? I'm talking between maybe 4 and 8 years old for you guys. Between 4 and 8, what was your favorite cartoon? And I just hope everyone doesn't put in like the Snorks or something, something like that, or the Muppet Babies. Please, I don't want to hear about no Muppet Babies.
No.
Hopefully, it's something else. Let's see what we got here.
That's for puberty or anything. That's for sure.
You get beat up at school for liking that stuff, so
Yeah, I
I
know.
stay clear of that.
So Kongs is a younger one, so DuckTales, I could see that for him. DuckTales was a pretty good show, but
Hockey Night in Canada.
Yep.
The Rexer Show.
Herculoid. See, Goofy Foot. Okay,
Don
talking
Cherry, baby.
classic,
Never missed it.
classic Hanna-Barbera, the Herculoids.
Transformers.
Transformers was good, but come on, Rex, you got to be a little bit older than 4'8". You're not that young.
Thundercats, Silver Hawks, the Hobby Hands.
So if those are two good shows, but Lion, no, we need to stop, Mom. Right? It was almost like everyone was Captain Kirk in those shows, the way they spoke. Even
Strawberry
Chitara.
Shortcake. Okay, I was going to say, who the hell said strawberry?
Lord.
Jennifer. Okay.
No Rainbow
Oh, my heart
Bright, huh?
stopped there, Jennifer, for a second. Strawberry Shortcake. I thought
Yeah.
it was, Paul saying something like that.
We got Looney Tunes, GoBots. See, now a lot of people would always say Transformers over GoBots, even though GoBots was the first one. That was the first one, but the Transformer lore I think worked better, and it kind of took over. So you don't hear about GoBots much. Inspector Gadget,
Oh, yeah.
another good one.
That's a Canadian animation TV show.
Yep, Pliskin. We're talking about between 4 and 8 years old. What was the favorite cartoon? Sitting in front of your TV set with a bowl of cereal. What was your favorite cartoon? Super Friends.
The Mighty Hercules.
Yep, Hercules or Herculoids.
Well, there's
Oh,
the Mighty
God.
Hercules that aired in Canada. The whole
Hercules. Hercules.
Not quite the.
Not that one.
That was from Eddie Murphy, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yes, it was.
When he played all those characters. Anyways, Mighty Hercules was on in the morning, like at 7, and I think they were like
There
10
you go.
minutes. They were like 15 minutes. These little animated things, and I think they were in Canada only. Maybe, I don't know.
Probably not. Probably not. But there's some other good ones here. We have
Scooby Doo.
My Little Pony. Come on, Paul. Really?
Paul got beat up at school
He's
last.
watching My Little Pony.
But you know what? Now there's full-grown men dressed up as My Little Pony in conventions, isn't there, or something
I
like
saw him
that?
this past weekend.
Was Paul there?
Were they going to bachelor parties?
I hope Paul wasn't there.
No, but I think some used the hydrant outside. But
Well, Arcade
That's
Mountain.
just sad. I'm sorry, but that's just
Street
sad.
Sharks. I don't know that one. Anyone know about you heard of
I've
Street
never heard
Sharks?
Street Sharks, no.
That sounds like a 90s.
Yogi's
early
Ark.
2000 one?
What is that?
Oh, Yogi's Ark. Again,
Oh, that's what. What is
Han-
it? Sparky 911. USA?
Hanna-Barbera. So they took all their
Sparky, not
characters.
Sparky.
Every one of the Hanna-Barbera characters had at the time. They're on this ark with a helicopter blade on the top, and
Okay.
they were like fly to different areas with the ark, And I don't remember much about what happened, but then they'll get back in the ark and they fly off again to somewhere else. I'm talking like, Quick Draw McGraw, Huckleberry Hound, like all the old characters. I don't think Dick Dastardly was on that yet.
El
But-
Kabong.
Catch That Pigeon. If you remember that show. Catch That Pigeon. Dick Dastardly was on it with Muttley. The dog. No, I'm too old.
No.
No one knows that one.
Jennifer said the Smurfs. How could we forget the Smurfs?
Well, we didn't want to forget the Smurfs. We just want to mention the Smurfs. There's a difference.
Well, I got two
They're a
Smurfs
step
up
above
there.
the Snorks. But Super Friends, obviously a big one. Star Blazers, I loved. But that wasn't on Saturday morning for me. That was on like 2:30 during the week. So unless I was home sick, which I tried to do as much as I could, I never really caught that one. That was a very good
Captain
show.
Caveman.
Captain
yeah.
Caveman was a good one too.
Captain Caveman.
So, see, look, Snake Plissken. Look at here. I'm gonna bring that up. Look at that. Look at that. Thundar the Barbarian. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
There's some favorites. Yeah. So let's hear it. Chris, what is your go-to series?
First cartoon I ever watched. I vividly remember watching it because I got the lunchbox and the pajamas and you name it soon after was Battle of the Planets.
Yeah.
Battle of the Planets. All right, hold on a second. Let's see. If people don't know Battle of the Planets, I'm going to bring it up here. 1 second. Boom. We'll get rid of Wolf here, and let's take a look at this.
We'll probably get a copyright strike.
Of course, I got one. I got one for last week or last time. So this.
Okay, that's it. Shut it off before we get a
This
strike.
is it here, and this is credited. It's credited for really bringing anime to the States. And
to North America.
in North America, right. So obviously they changed a lot of the story. They added a character called, as Steve would say, 7 Zark 7, because they couldn't show some of the gore type of stuff that was in this show. But I'll shut up and let you hear the rest of the intro.
Jason, and watching over them from Center Neptune, their computerized coordinator,
Andy hit Casey
7 Zark 7.
Yep.
Watching, warning against surprise attacks
Top 40.
by alien galaxies beyond space.
Alien galaxies beyond space. Is that possible?
Hey, it was possible there.
Here's a trivia question for you, Glenn. You know who the voice of 7 Zark 7 is?
I don't.
Alan Young from Mr. Ed and Scrooge McDuck.
I did not know that.
Yep.
See, this is why I lost trivia on the Retro Show. And everyone
Who
was
did the
always
voice
trying to
of
look
Mark?
at... what's that?
Kasem?
Fearless
Mark,
young
who's Casey
orphan,
Kasem?
protecting Earth's
I don't know the
entire
rest of
galaxy.
them. Key up, I don't even
Always
want to guess.
by
Yeah, I wore that shirt
acting
for
as
the
one.
RetroCon, and everybody's like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like,
Inseparable.
T-Public.
Invincible.
So that was Battle of the Planets. It was based on an anime called
Gatchaman.
Gatchaman. Thank you very much. And so
10
when they
years
saw
too
that,
late to be
when they saw this and they wanted to bring it to the States, obviously they couldn't bring it fully over because I think this was in Japan in 74 or 72, very early. We didn't get it till like 79, 80,
78.
something like
78,
that.
Something like that, 79.
So they edited out like Robotech. I saw someone here said Robotech. I think that was Kongs or Russ. Even Robotech. What we got here in the States were 3 generations of Robotech. You had the Veritech fighters, you had the motorcycles, and then you had I forgot what the last one was, but it was the I forgot the alien race that came in the last one. There was 3 different generations of it. But that was actually 3 different independent series that they edited together for the Robotech Macross series we got here in the States. But a lot of people always credited that with being the first one to bring anime over to the States, but it really was Battle of the Planets, which was actually a bigger one. Now, for me, I don't know about you guys, that was on at 6:30 in the morning in the States, Monday through Friday. When did you guys have that show? Do you remember?
I want to say it was in the morning before I went to school. Pretty sure. It was
About
early.
you, Steven?
Battle of the Planets?
Yeah, when was it on the morning? Was it on a weekend?
No, it was in the afternoon after school.
I see you got it. You got the
Around
easy
4
one.
o'clock, I think it was.
So you got it.
Think
You
it
got
was
it the better time. You did.
So after school, it was like, can't talk, see you later, goodbye, and pew, we were out the door when the bell rang, and you were running home to see Battle of the Planets.
Right. And that,
It was-
and
it was
no
that bad.
spoiler
It was-
alert. What was your favorite,
That's what
Steven?
Joe and Transformers was.
Mine was This was set in stone a week ago.
Yes, it was.
It was same as Chris, Battle of the Planets.
Battle of the Planets.
I worship that show. I'd run outside, pretend I was whoever that week, and run around, and the girls in the neighborhood would be princess and other stuff, and it was always like running around and pretending. And
Now, I got a big
people
question
don't do
for both
that
of you.
nowadays anymore.
I got a
but,
big
you know.
question for both of you. The bad guy in Battle of the Planets, was it a guy?
Zoltar?
Right. Was it a guy or was it a woman?
Had lipstick. Had lipstick on. So had a deep voice.
It did, but that could be synthesized. So that was a big thing back then because you always thought it was a guy. So like Metroid, you thought it was a guy running around. Then you get to the end of the game, and it was a woman. So what do you think, Wolf? Was that a guy or was it a woman?
Yeah, it was a woman.
It was a woman. I agree with you on
Pretty
that.
sure.
I agree with you
I
on
thought
that.
it was a robot, but whatever.
No.
So you think there was a little going into our brains now with, I think the alien race were GPQR2, whatever they call these things. What is it today? GQR, XR. What do they call themselves now? I don't even know. He's so
Fembot, yes.
something like that. So that was kind of interesting that they threw that kind of a twist in it, but it was never, I don't think, ever really stated specifically.
I don't think it was
a woman.
released or announced anywhere.
Right, but it was definitely
even in the
hinted at.
Japanese market. I don't know. I tried to go back and revisit the Japanese stuff and watch it.
Right.
Really hard to understand, obviously. And the show is cut in a different way.
Right.
In Japan versus Battle of the Planets, it was edited a certain way. And when you watch the Japanese stuff, you're kind of scratching your head going, what am I
What did I just
watching
watch? What did I just watch?
Yeah, as an adult, you go back and you're like, okay. But I worship that show. But you know what the problem is with that show? At least here in Canada, you couldn't get toys. You couldn't get a T-shirt. You could get jack shit for that game, for that
show.
Game. That show, and you couldn't get anything. There was no action figures.
I take you to eat
there's
caffeine
nothing.
in your drinks up there. I mean, come on, you know.
It took a while.
Here, I don't think there was
That's what I
much
mean.
toys. There might have been a couple of toys. I don't think there was anything crazy.
Not
But I
here.
know what T-shirts and stuff like that. You could have got that.
You couldn't go to like Walmart or Woolco or Kmart or whatever and get Battle of the Planet stuff. You couldn't. You get Star Wars stuff all day long, but you couldn't get Battle of the Planet stuff.
Real quick, we're going to go through some of the chat here. So we got the Jetsons, Grape Ape, if you remember Grape, another Hanna-Barbera show. And Kongs did say Street Sharks was definitely the 90s show, which is probably why I don't remember it. Pliskin's Run, Land Before Time.
Is that the dinosaurs?
Hobby Hands, Underdog. You remember
Never
Underdog?
Oh, yeah, the Underdog. It's like
And
superhero.
They tried to bring it back, but he
Did
gets
they?
his power from a pill. He opens up his ring to swallow a pill. So
Isn't
because
it
he
a 3D
swallowed
animation or something?
No, I mean, it might have been, but because he swallowed the pill, they had to cancel it because now the kids are taking drugs to get powers. So that went away.
Well, they do that now without the TV shows anyways.
True. Bullwinkle. Paul was saying Bullwinkle. Nooner, Wally Gator.
Nooner put Schoolhouse Rock too. Well, that wasn't really a show, but it was educational.
It was, but they were, it was always entertaining.
Yeah, it was absolutely. We had that up here. It was good.
Goofy Foot has Hong Kong Phooey. Hong Kong Phooey.
I remember that.
Hong Kong Phooey. Remember that show?
I remember that. That was Hanna-Barbera too, wasn't it?
That was Hanna-Barbera owned the 70s. Hanna-Barbera owned the 70s. The Banana Splits.
Too much.
Popeye.
Flintstones.
Wolf knows everything because he's a cyborg, which I think I can agree with that. If he beat me, and he clearly beat me on Wolf's show, he must be a cyborg.
I haven't carved a hole. I hadn't reset my chip yet, so sorry.
Oh, no one mentions.
He's got an extension cord going to the back of his chair there.
Hobby Hands mentioned Street Racer.
I don't remember that.
You don't
remember
Street Racer?
Speed
Maybe
Racer.
it could have been that. That could be Jabberjaw.
Speed Racer, yeah. Street Racer, never heard. Which one?
Jabberjaw, Jabberjaw. Hanna-Barbera once again.
Mighty Mouse, I remember that.
Mighty Mouse was good. This was all old stuff.
Mighty Mouse is here to save the day.
Yep, and he got canceled in the 90s because he crushed up a flower his girlfriend gave him, and he snorted.
Mighty Mouse?
Yeah, and he snorted the flower. So they had to cancel that show. Yeah, they canceled because he was snorting a flower. No.
Speed Buggy.
Speed Buggy's another good one. We had Hobby Hands do another super chat. In Canada, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had. Right, it was Ninja Hero Turtles. I think that was also in England. It was Canada and England. they changed that.
In Japan, I think it was that too, wasn't it?
No, it was Ninja Turtles. It was just the godmother, the queen, whatever you want to say, didn't want the ninja in the name, so it became Heroes.
The Queen said that?
Yeah, it was something on the BBC. It was some BBC thing. They had to change it, so the name got changed. Yes.
But we don't have to worry about the Queen anymore.
No. But I got to say though, it's surprising. It's surprising what cultures have to change something to make sure it's not offensive to them.
Oh yeah.
It's just weird. But yeah, Japan, they're murdering people straight up. They're doing all kinds of stuff, and their kids are 2 years old. Yeah, fine. And then they're not having a problem. They're not blowing up schools.
You guys ever watch an anime called in French it was called Albatar? I don't know what it's called in it's like a space pirate. You had a ship, it looked like an actual pirate ship, but I don't remember.
Oh, I do vaguely remember that, but
in French it was called Albatar. But I don't know. Goldorak was another one, but that was an anime.
Yeah.
well, before
Goldorak,
before we go further on the list here with the people, I'm going to tell you what my favorite one was growing up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Shit, we forgot Glenn. Sorry.
Oh,
Glenn.
I'm always forgotten. It's okay. Everyone always forgets the Glenster. It's all right. But I'm going to show you what my favorite one was. So here we go. Beep.
Thundar, the Barbarian. The year 1994. From out of space
Not at
comes
all.
a runaway rocket, hurtling between the Earth and the Moon, unleashing cosmic destruction.
Now imagine being a
Man's
kid,
civilization is
4 or
cast
5
in
years
ruin.
old, and seeing this. I mean, it's pretty hard.
2,000 years later, Earth is reborn. A strange new world rises from the old. A world of savagery, super science, and sorcery. But one man bursts his bonds to fight for justice. With his companions, Ukla the Mock and Princess Ariel, he pits his strength, his courage, and his fabulous sun's sword against the forces of evil. He is Thundar, the Barbarian.
Whoops. Got the wrong one on there. Sorry about that, Wolf. And there we go. Put it back. So,
What was so good about that one? Because I watched it a little tiny bit.
well,
The
the
first
thing
couple
was,
minutes, but
this is
what was the
before like the government steps in and says you got to mix up education, you can't sell toys. They actually told stories, and Star Wars came out right before this. Obviously, that's where the story came from. But just think of being a kid and seeing a show, a cartoon where your entire civilization is like wiped out, and humans are now fighting for survival against wizards. Who doesn't like magic? And then you have super science on top of it. And what was good about the show, I guess you can do some spoilers. It's like 30, 50, 60 years old, whatever it is. That they actually there was a couple of time travel episodes. So they actually went back to like our era, and they actually were able to see how the Earth used to be because they lost all knowledge.
So this is post-apocalyptic?
Correct.
era?
They find like a
Gotcha.
car or a flashlight. They had no idea what it was. They thought it was like a weapon of some kind. And a couple of times, there was actually one episode where a wizard went back in time, basically, I don't want to say rape, but went back in time to steal a woman from the past, bring her to the future, and kind of like, have his way with her. And that was actually the final episode of the series. He went back in time.
That's when they canceled the show.
I guess. But you're watching the show, they time travel back. This woman gets ripped from the past to this future, and she ends up staying. They couldn't send her back. She ends up staying. Now she's trapped in our time. So it was a dark show, but it was still entertaining. And then Ukla the Monk was obviously a Chewbacca ripoff. And he had the sword, and you had Princess Ariel would have been like Princess Leia to a point. But it was at a time when creators could just create whatever they wanted without having to worry about the TV companies or the federal government stepping in, like the video games. When some Mortal Kombat came out, then the government had to step in.
The
Start
ESRB
censoring.
came along.
Right. So the same thing happened with this, but it happened a little bit later on. I forgot which show actually pushed them to do that, but so me and Pliskin's Run agree with that. And again, it was Hanna-Barbera. That was just very big at the time. So Wolf, do you remember that show at all?
Thundar, sort of, like a little bit. It was late 70s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like
It was
right
it was
around the time
78.
Battle of
I think it was 78. It was
Yeah.
right after Star Wars.
Yeah, it was about 4 or 5. So yeah, I faintly remember it.
So basically, if we do any trivia 474, I got a shot at taking you now. So now I know the benchmark I got to go up against you with. That works.
I had never seen this show at all.
I'm surprised.
When Glenn was talking to me about the show during the week, I just don't know if it just didn't air here in Canada. That might have been the case. And
I know some of the enemies look like slee stacks from Land of the Lost.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think this was out before that. Someone mentioned in here, where was it? Looks like He-Man. Paul, this was out way before like He-Man had come out. But there's no question that Star Wars influenced a lot of things after it came out, and this was definitely one of those shows that definitely did that. I saw in here Dungeons and Dragons by Hobby Hands, another very good show that, again, was right on that time when they started to say you need to make things educational. And again, there were some episodes in there that were quite dark. There was one episode where the kids actually said flat out, "We got to kill Venger, the bad guy. We're done. We got to straight up kill this guy."
Oh wow!
Yeah, and they, I don't want to give it away, but to have a kids show,
and that's when Jeffrey
get to that
Dahmer
point
was born.
Maybe.
There's your #1 Halloween costume this year.
Yeah, exactly.
So the Dungeons and Dragons was mentioned a few times in here, and if you haven't seen that, that was one of the shows where it got left on a cliffhanger and it got canceled. Right? It had great reviews. It had great people watching it, but again, it was Dungeons and Dragons, and parents started to freak out. I think that might have been actually the show. If parents are starting to freak out about the show, I think that's when the government got involved with the show. Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
which it had nothing bad about it at all. But of course, parents didn't know, and it got canceled. So
if you I just want to sideline a little bit here. If you even mention the word witchcraft today, what do you picture in your head? Oh, something fell off your
Kathleen
wall there,
Kennedy.
Chris. Yeah, exactly. We figure all these losers inside a house smoking whatever. You know what I mean? Like you just sort of get this mentality that's not ominous or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like witchcraft. Yeah, okay. Bunch of yahoos doing whatever.
But how many times
it doesn't have that same scary thing anymore, How
many times you watched a show and it got killed that way? I mean, I know like Flight Flintstone, it doesn't matter.
Dude.
Flight Flintstone, Jetsons, they're independent little shows. But when you're watching an arc like that, it got killed. You don't know what happened to them. So there was actually an episode written called Requiem, and that was supposed to be the season 3 opener, and it was going to allow them to either A, continue the story with like maybe new cast members or whatever, or end the show. But of course, they canceled before that. So for years later, they did like a radio broadcast of it, where some of the actors got back and they recorded it, but a lot of them didn't. So eventually, you go on YouTube and actually see it now. They actually did animation for it. Someone actually spent time, and it looks pretty close to the original animation, which was very like Dick type of animation, early Transformers animation. And I don't want to spoil it if you didn't see it, but if you watch the series, you finally got a closure, and that was emotional. Because I've been waiting since like '83 to find out what happened to the cast, and it kind of gets answered. It still leaves it a little open-ended, but you kind of know they got either home or they stayed, and everyone was at least okay at that point. There was a closure to the battle with the evil and so forth. So very rare, but that's a good thing about communities and people have a passion for these type of things. Shows can get resolved in that fashion. People can do the visuals, and even the game consoles. Like Steven's huge into ColecoVision, and there's people keeping that alive. There's people making new games, making new hardware.
Like
Wolf?
you even got. I'll give you an example. Stargate doesn't exist anymore. Like there's no more Stargate. And what they did recently is they had Amazon or Google. No, it's Google AI write a new episode. Just a whole episode of Stargate, based on all the dialogue from all the other ones, and then they had the actors come in and read their lines. So it was kind of interesting.
Was it released?
No, it wasn't a show. They just did a reading, like a table reading on YouTube kind of thing.
Okay.
And just to give you an idea that the AI could start writing new stuff, just like. I'm sure you've seen this AI stuff do paintings. I'm sure you guys saw that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where it looks incredible. You know, you could say, "Hey, I want a Thundar the Barbarian cartoon that looks like me," and then the thing will just crank it
He
out.
already looks like me. Didn't you see the cartoon, the physique? It's I'm
I've
already
deflated
here.
you,
man.
but sure, yeah, no problem. But as you were saying, their fans keep things going with
Right.
fan scripts that people write their own stories,
Right.
all that
I
stuff.
thought you were like
so-
the Wookiee character there, Glenn.
No, that's nostalgia.
Oh, okay.
You're close. We're close looking, but he's darker.
I thought so, but
Yeah, he's
What's
close.
the Wookiee called in Spaceballs?
He's a Mog,
Barf.
half human. Oh, Barf was it
Barf?
not a Mog?
Yeah. That's his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
It was a
Barf,
Mog,
yeah,
half
John
human, half
Candy's
dog.
Barf.
Barf was his name, I thought.
Or
He's a
Mog.
Mog. His race is a
Yeah.
Mog.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I thought
another-
you were the
two
Mog
other
of
dark-
that story.
I guess kind of dark cartoons. Last Unicorn, which was just brought up in the chat, and the Black Cauldron.
Oh, Black Cauldron, that was dark.
It was very
Ooh.
dark, and it was dark on purpose. They
yeah,
wanted they
That wasn't
wanted
for
it to
kids.
be they wanted it to be like R-rated. To be quite honest, they wanted it to be R-rated, and they got it forcibly toned down to PG. But even at PG, as little kids seeing that, it's pretty scary.
That thing's up there with heavy metal and all that. There,
Oh,
that
that-
type of animation.
When I first saw that in
and-
1980, I was 10. That
Oh
scared
yeah,
me.
me too. Oh yeah, same here. I saw it about the same time, and I was like, damn. It's not your Saturday morning cartoons, that's
No,
for sure.
but
you
the
know?
end didn't
Your mom
scare
didn't
me.
cover your eyes, Glenn?
Not at the end, no. Not with the not the last bit. No, I absolutely did not cover my eyes in that one. I got a nice poster. I still they were up high enough to survive the flood, so I got my heavy metal poster still. And that's what they came out with Heavy Metal 2000 after that, which
Yeah, I saw
sucked.
that too.
Yeah, that
It
kinda
wasn't
sucked.
that good.
No.
It wasn't that good. It was okay, but it wasn't
Barely,
classic,
barely.
you know.
They made a game called Heavy Metal 2000, which actually wasn't too bad.
On what platform?
PC.
Oh, did they really?
Yep, you could probably
I
still
did
find
not
it.
know that.
Yeah, the
Abandonware
Dreamcast
somewhere.
had one too.
Was
Oh,
that
wow.
Wolf
The Dreamcast had a game too.
for Heavy Metal 2000?
I believe so. No, it was heavy metal, but it wasn't.
I'll s-
It wasn't 2000. It was like in between heavy metal and 2000.
I'll see if I can find that. I did like that first movie. What else do we see in here? We got Lord of the Rings, obviously, and The Hobbit, the original cartoons
That was
for
weird.
them. You got to be stoned.
I thought
Those are ones I know people
yeah,
went
yeah,
stoned, right?
exactly.
Wolf, come on. People had to be stoned to see that, especially the
Pretty
Hobbit.
much.
What was it? Krull? You had to be stoned to see that too.
Nah, Krull, not so much, but it wasn't. It was
Oh,
just
dude,
okay.
when that rainbow thing starts going and the
That's one of Liam Neeson's first movies too.
Yes, it was.
Krull with that ninja star looking thing.
I
or
would have
whatever.
not minded having that little thing you throw and little spikes come out. That would have been
A
okay.
lot of people
Glaive.
made them. A lot of people
glaive.
made them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Everybody made one of those. But the Secret of Nim?
Secret of Nim was. I wouldn't say that one was really dark per se.
Well,
but
that
it
was,
was good.
Don Bluth movie, wasn't it?
It was, and it was good. And
Uh,
they made like two sequels to that, direct to DVD on those.
What was Down Under there? Made by Don Bluth also. Rescuers Down Under? Is that
No, that was Disney. That was
Oh, I
Disney.
thought it was.
Bluth
thought
did
it was,
like the Land Before Time series. That was big.
Yeah,
with
I'm
him.
thinking of another one that he did that sort of the same flavor, I guess. But
Here's
Dark
one that Adam.
Crystal.
Yeah, Adam just brought that up.
Yeah.
That was
The Fievel movies there. He did the Fievel Mouse movies.
Yep.
That's
Dark-
the one I'm thinking of.
which one?
American Tail.
American
American-
Tail.
Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of actually.
All dogs go to heaven. Some of them pretty. I wouldn't say dark, but
Blue
sad
had
ones.
amazing animation.
Mr.
But-
Dragon's Lair, why not?
But Dark Crystal was another one. I was actually, I know Mary's in the chat here. She was over one day, and her kids were over, and I was like, "This is a good movie. I haven't seen it in like forever. Totally forgot it. So it's it's Muppets.
David Bowie's in there. I
He
think.
is, but like, there's Muppets in here, so we can watch
Oh,
this
that's
show.
Labyrinth.
That was
He's
Labyrinth.
in there.
There's
Labyrinth,
Muppets. Let's
sorry,
go watch
wrong
it.
movie.
And it was pretty harsh and dark, man. It was like killing people straight
Oh,
up
yeah,
and eating
yeah, yeah.
people, and it was
Yeah,
pretty
Dark
bad.
Crystal. Oh yeah, Dark Crystal was an American.
American
Yeah,
Tail.
it's American Tail.
American
Yeah,
Tail.
I think they typoed it, but Titan AE, yes. Don
That was
Bluth.
again. That was okay.
It
Don
wasn't
Bluth.
bad.
It was a good. I think it ended weak. I think it ended
Just
weak.
CGI with animation. They tried to do the two of them together, and it.
He had
didn't-
amazing animation no matter what he did, though.
He did, but I was surprised by that because he was very big on classical animation, and he put CGI in Titan AE. So I was actually surprised when he did that.
Yeah, yeah. There was a big stink about that back then, before internet was angry.
Yeah, the two people in the same room you're talking to were upset about it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there was nothing
the
else.
Keyboard,
No, Kongs R Us said somewhere out there. What is that? Is that a show? Is that a movie?
Oh my god.
somewhere out there. Wasn't that a song?
I don't know.
He's singing the song, or yeah, I think.
Yeah, the song from American Tail
Yeah.
somewhere out
Gotcha.
there. That's what it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of context, but we got it.
I'm glad
I
you
can
guys
hear
are here because I
singing.
would not have
the
gotten it.
three nerds here got it.
Oh, and
This is
Nooner
a-
said, and this is true, Don Bluth was involved with Pete's Dragon, which was live action with an animated
but that was
dragon.
But that was Disney released though, right?
It was.
Pete's-
It was Disney
Yeah.
released.
Is that on Disney Plus?
Pete's Dragon, I think so.
Yeah, that was a live action with animation and all that, right, or something, with the little kid. And
Yep.
It was like a bit of both. Did they
Right.
redo that Pete's Dragon? Did
Yeah,
they do a
if they
CGI
haven't, I'm
version
sure
or
they're
something?
going to. If they haven't, I'm sure they're
I
going
thought
to.
they did for some reason. I don't know. Maybe not.
Oh, there
But,
was The Wizards. You ever see that movie, The Wizards? Or
Is
just
that the
Wizards?
kids playing Nintendo?
Secret?
No. It was actually it was an animated show about wizards. It came out in, I want to say 75
what
or
was
76.
the one with the kids with the Nintendo? Was it called
That was called The
Wizards 2?
Wizard.
Oh, okay, sorry,
Wizard.
the Wizards. Shoot me now.
What else we got?
Anastasia, Thumbelina. There's some good stuff.
Anastasia, again, another one that was kind of dark, straight up murdering people, just killing them off.
That's what you take away from these things.
I
Never
do.
killing people.
Straight up death. The guy's already dead. He's evil. And he's
Slipped her on a roofie. Yeah.
yeah, it was-
Yeah.
that was Don Bluth. That was Don Bluth too. Anastasia, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He put some dark stuff in his stuff there.
Yeah, but I'm wondering what happened. Like, he's not around. Well, I'm sure he's retired, whatever. But
Yeah, he's old.
the whole studio just shut down, wasn't it? It's
I think so.
done, isn't it?
Well, Jen said they redid it, but I don't know what they redid. She said they redid it. I'm not sure it was for Pete's Dragon or what. So Jen,
They
want to say
did redo Pete's Dragon.
they did with
But I
live
think it was
action. Live
CGI
action.
I think it's CGI live action.
Oh
but
yeah,
I think it
Pliskin's
went
wrong.
straight to the bottom of the barrel. I'm not
Yep.
sure, but I think it went straight to video kind of thing. So
you got to
wonder
leave
if
these
it's on
classics
Disney
alone.
Plus.
Leave the classics alone.
You gotta love Disney though, because isn't Pete's Dragon
Oh my
like
God, go away.
a reference to drugs or something?
Well, that was
Someone
Puff
else.
the Magic Dragon. You're right.
Oh, sorry, wrong guy, wrong dragon.
I mean, it's right in its name. Puff the Magic Dragon.
Pete's Dragon was after you did too much drugs.
Yeah. Yep. I love Disney how they show their old stuff with big disclaimers in front. You guys ever see that on Disney Plus? If
What-
you
what's
go back to watch on Disney Plus, if you go back to watch like Davy Crockett or something, they basically like have this disclaimer at the beginning that basically talks about diversity and inclusion and everything else. And you're like, well, Daniel Boone or whatever, Davy Crockett was friends with the Aboriginal folks. It's like,
Right.
like it doesn't make sense. It's almost like somebody plunked that up there, didn't even watch the show to go, he's not killing them or scalping and going
Well-
on or anything, like,
I mean,
it's
he
like,
does have a coonskin cat or hat, so I mean,
He does.
yeah. Well, poor raccoon,
friendly to the
call
animals.
Humane Society, I guess, or whatever, but poor guy. But you watch that stuff now, it's pretty funny. Like, there's disclaimers up there and, Disney's inclusive and everything. You're like, oh God.
It is. I
these
mean,
guys,
look at
like-
a prime example: Songs of the South. Songs of the South. I mean, I totally get. Like today, just like if I was watching Mel Brooks's what was
Blazing
that?
Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. Exactly.
that wouldn't get made today.
No, I
Edited
can't,
for
I, honest-
television,
I
5
can't even
minutes
watch
long.
it today. I really can't watch. It's. I can't. But I get that. But you should still. It should be available. It should be available. You could put
Yeah.
put a thing at the front. Say, listen, this was made in 1962. And this is how society was. So
Is
you
that
can
what
actually
it was? 62?
around that time frame. But the
Really?
point is,
Hold on.
all you're doing is making people forget. Versus, at the time, you could see what society was like. This was acceptable
74.
at the time. 74.
Wow.
This was
74.
acceptable at the time. You shouldn't get rid of it.
look at it with a grain of salt and a bit of
A little bit. I mean,
whatever.
lots
go
of
get your
things.
diapers if you gotta go.
Lots of
whatever, and
things are
that's it, you know?
offensive now. I mean, I get it. A lot of things are offensive now that weren't back then. I
Okay.
get that. But
Sorry,
if
I
you
brought that whole thing there.
no, but
I won't
it's
say we veered off course into the
not
wolf
really
stuff.
because cartoons get
apologize.
Songs of the South is a lot of it is animation. There's live
Oh, is
action.
it?
It's,
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Andy's game room's right too. By the way, he did write that movie. So
songs. What movie?
I partially with Blazing Saddles. I'm pretty
Who
sure.
did?
Richard Pryor.
Oh, it could be.
Huh. Well, in any case, these things should not be removed or edited or modified. You put a disclaimer at the front saying this came out in 1974, and at the time, this is society. Learn from it. See how
check this out.
things were.
He was right. Screenplay by Mel Brooks, Norman Steinberg, Andrew Bergman, Richard Pryor,
Yep.
and Alan Ugger.
Well,
So Richard Pryor, see, he had his 2 cents in there. Now Richard Pryor.
well, I could say as a kid when I saw that, I couldn't breathe at points. I was laughing so hard, tears.
Still
I
funny.
couldn't breathe. I said, my brother and my son said, let's go watch Blazing Saddles. You put it on. And my son was looking. I'm like, okay, off. Off. It's gone.
This is not okay anymore.
No, it's not okay anymore.
Yeah.
And even
And
I
cartoons have suffered for that. If you look at Bugs Bunny,
Yeah,
There-
3/4 of the Looney Tunes are
oh,
gone.
gone. They're gone. If you go on YouTube, a lot of time you can find them.
like that poor coyote, he got the better end of it. He doesn't get blown up half as much.
No.
You get that black blown up hair gone back face with a stick of dynamite shoved where I don't know, but yeah, it's the cartoons have suffered that stuff. I think Looney Tunes and others, I'm sure there's hundreds of them.
But again,
That
all that
suffered the
stuff
same
is,
fate.
is it's history. It's history just as anything else
Absolutely.
is.
You
A
don't even
lot of
see
the
Three
ones
Stooges much anymore.
right.
I'm not sure if
Yeah.
I'd be offended watching Blazing Saddles. I mean, you just look at the show. It's not made yesterday. It was made, 74. It's going to be what, like 50 years soon?
Right.
In 2 years, it'll be 50 years old, Blazing Saddles. If some dummy's going to watch that show and go, I'm offended, and it doesn't take it into the context when Vietnam had just ended,
Wow, that whipped this out. Yep.
it's like, I don't get it, to be honest with you, but I would let my kids watch some of that stuff anyway. So
Well, Hobby Hands is going crazy here. Hobby Hands, thank you. You don't have to give always super chats, my friend, but he was saying here, it should be just popping on the screen. Whiz Kids. You remember the TV show Whiz Kids?
I
Yep.
do not.
Show's intro has Tempest, Altair, and more. But they were whiz kids. They were smart kids. So it makes sense. It was kind of weird. That was one of the shows where you were a nerd. You were
That
the
was around
star.
the time War Games came out, and they wanted a show to follow up War Games.
Correct.
Really? Really, eh?
Yep. It was actually a good show. I remember I watched, anytime it was on and I caught it, I was always watching Whiz Kids.
My daughter
1981.
loves War Games.
Yep. 1980. Hold on. Science fiction.
Yeah, where's your daughter
from,
tonight, Wolf?
83.
Where's she hiding
She
today?
went to a football game with her friends. She doesn't want to be around Dad, so she wanted to go to a football game. So you know how it is.
Yeah, we're not cool anymore.
No.
Nope.
Except when they need money.
All three of us sitting here have teenagers in the house.
Except when you need
and we're
this.
not-
Then you're the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
bestest
yeah, yeah.
ever.
She
All
literally
right.
told me, when she left, she told me, go talk to your old friends. That's what she said. So.
We'll have to put her on the show and
Oh, she'll give you a show. That's for sure. And attitude is more like it.
she'll be like, "Pff,"
Yeah.
like my daughter. Yeah,
Yeah, you know
whatever,
how it
Dad.
is.
Oh yeah, I got a sassy 14-year-old, so it's
Unfortunate
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
Both you two, sorry. Unfortunately, I just have Cole. I have it easier. I understand that.
well, he's doing college now, isn't he?
He is. He's doing really well, too. Very
Oh,
impressed.
good. Good.
Doing very well. But I don't know. It just seems to me, maybe I'm wrong. It just seems like when I went to school, there was a lot more work, homework, research. It doesn't seem like it's, hey, let's do this 2 or 3 things. Yeah, you're good. 2 or 3 things, you're good. I'm like, this is college? Today?
I guess, yeah. Sure seems like it. So, are we gonna zip forward and see what movies or stuff we want to see, or?
We should do that because we do have to end. The Super Game Room dudes will be on in about 6 minutes. We have 6 minutes left in our show.
Well, let's ask Chris here real quick. Did you watch Quantum Leap, the new one?
No, I want to though. I haven't had
Okay.
time to sit down and watch it yet.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
No.
It's
I
not
don't mind
terrible.
it.
I heard they've kind of like extended the previous timeline. They're not rebooting it. Is that-
Correct.
They're not. They're continuing kind of thing.
Okay,
They
cool.
mentioned
I'm okay with that.
the previous people who were leaping.
I'm okay with that.
So that's what I kind of liked about it. And I was saying on the show that we did, that's how you do it right, or at least they're trying to do it the right way, versus
Right.
shitting on the lore of the last one.
Right.
So
you
I'm
can't-
okay with it.
You can't ruin the past show. I mean,
No.
you could, but
And I
Yeah.
understand they've reached out to Scott Bakula a few times to come on the show, and supposedly he's turned it down. But I'm wondering if he's just saying that
he'll
publicly.
show up.
Yeah,
He'll show up.
I think he's just saying, "Yeah, I'm not going to
Got to.
show." And then bam,
He
he's gonna be
totally
on there.
will. The fans are going to eat that up and think he's a god. Now, he's probably going to upstage the other guy, but you know, it is
They're
what
gonna-
it is.
he's-
I guess.
You know what it is? He's gonna jump, and he's gonna end up meeting him jumped into somebody.
Right,
That's what's gonna happen.
right. Or maybe he'll
He's still
jump.
jumping.
Maybe he'll jump into Scott Bakula as he's already jumped into someone else, a
That could
double
be too.
jumper.
Because
Yep.
apparently the person that is waiting for their body to go back, they end up in a room or something. But they haven't showed that in this show yet. Apparently, when the other person takes over the body, the person is somewhere else.
I mean, their
But they haven't
soul.
showed the. Oh, they're in a waiting room or
like a
something. In the
purgatory or
old
something
show,
like
they
that?
said that. Oh, maybe. I guess.
Put it on pause, basically.
Yeah, they just freeze frame it, I guess, or whatever. We were talking before the show. What about Black Adam? When's that coming out?
Next
It's-
week, I think.
Yeah,
Is it next week? I want to see
Yeah.
that.
but it's interesting because Black Adam is really not a good guy.
No, he kills people.
Right, he's not a good
Oh
guy.
yeah, yeah. He's a Superman
he leans
that
neutral,
kills.
but he's more bad than neutral. Really.
Yeah, I mean, there's been times where he's done the right thing. There has been times where he does that, but overall, he's not a nice guy. Which I was surprised that The Rock took
No.
this role, but I'm sure the money, changed his mind
Well,
pretty
apparently,
quick.
according to him in recent interviews, he's been wanting to be this character for about 15 years, and he's been trying to get it going.
Well, they've been talking about
now.
it for probably 15 years. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's what he's saying. And apparently, this is all that in a bag of chips, and he's gonna be with not the Justice League, but the previous Justice League or whatever.
Oh, Dr. Fate and everybody.
right.
The Hawk
Yeah.
guy and all that stuff.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing
that's
is,
apparently the era that he's going to be showing up in.
Technically, he can beat Superman because he's got all the powers, but he's magic. And kryptonite, magic are the things that Superman really can't do. Shazam, that's what gets me about, the time. There's been a couple cartoons with Superman fighting Shazam, and Superman usually trounces Shazam, but in reality, either it's a deadlock or Shazam should be able to take him out because of the magic.
Mm.
Right there. The one I'm thinking about recently was there was I think it was called Batman, Superman, when they're on the run. It was a movie a few years ago where Lex Luthor becomes president, and
Oh, yeah.
he
I
basically
saw that.
right. So he took care of Shazam fairly quickly, but Shazam said to him, "Listen, I could take you. You're not good against magic." And then I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it, but that's my 2 cents on those two. I just feel like Shazam, and it is Captain Marvel. Okay, what they're trying to change to. He is Captain friggin' Marvel, and he says Shazam to change, but he's damn Captain Marvel. And then the
After watching
Marvel
the
Captain
Elvis
Marvel
movie-
is horrible.
I have
After
not.
watching the Elvis movie, you find out that Captain Marvel was Elvis's favorite comic book,
Oh, really?
which was Shazam. Yeah. So
Cool. Does who here? Did we talk about this last time? But do you guys have vertigo really bad? Like scared of heights kind of thing?
No, I'm not scared of
Well,
heights, but I have vertigo
If
now.
you watch a show called The Fall,
uh,
I couldn't watch it. I don't know if I talked about it last week or the 2 weeks ago, but I'd rather not watch that. I'd rather watch a horror movie than that.
What's
they're
wrong with
going- they
leaves?
go
and
up- they-
what's wrong with leaves
basic-
falling off trees, man?
Basically, Fall is they go up a TV tower, these two girls, and yeah, it's so vertigo inducing. It's not funny. It's like, oh.
This
So-
was, I do remember this show. This was live action. It was Shazam and Isis.
Really?
Yeah,
Live
they were
action?
live action. Yep. And it was done by Oh, it was done by the people who did like the Land of the Lost. It was a Croft, something in Croft that did it, but it was live action.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah, Robbie Coltrane died today, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's what I
really?
was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
We lost Hagrid.
Yep.
So we're
Hagrid
ending the
passed
show
away.
on that. That's the last thing we're going to say on the show tonight. We're ending it
guess
on
so.
that downer of a
Rest
note.
in peace.
No.
Good
I
actor.
just noticed the comment.
No, I saw it
Forgot
all
about
over
that.
Facebook today. Yeah, it's a sad loss because great actor.
Yeah.
Great actor. Loved him.
Well, listen, I want to thank you all for joining us again today. The Super Gamer Dudes is going to go on right now. I know you're going to all hop over there. They put on a really good show. I want to thank Wolf and O's from joining us once
Thank
again.
you again, sir.
And
Thank you.
getting on here and talk with us for Kicking It
on,
Old
folks.
School time. And Steven, what do you got going on for we going out? You doing anything this weekend?
More Diablo 3.
Diablo 3. What about you, Wolf? What are you doing this weekend?
Cleaning and getting out of boxes still after a big move. So I'm still months later getting out of boxes. So always fun.
I know that feeling. No, I don't. For me,
No,
got my.
you don't get out of bags. I mean,
I
not
don't. I
boxes.
like them in the boxes and the bags. That's right. I want to keep them in.
Wrap it up.
Well, listen, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We have the best chat group out there. We really appreciate you guys.
Great.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Kick over to the Super Game Room dudes that's starting off right now. And Wolf, you can lead us out. What do we always say at the end of our shows?
Game on, folks.
That's it. Everyone have a great day and evening and
Game
weekend.
on.
Peace out.
At the Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue, sit.